talking about Kim Kardashian. Oh yeah, gold digger. So I was saying Kim can be a gold digger. Or what is a gold digger, I guess. Because I was in this class, right? The class, and I wrote a thing. And the guy comes back and he says, well, Kim can't be a gold digger because she already has money. And everyone else thought it was pretty funny. And I thought it was decent. But he thought, oh no. And I don't know if he was mad because it got laughs and he felt threatened because my thing got laughs, or if he really believes that...
Or he's a gold digger in disguise.
That could be too.
And it really touches on a point.
So maybe he felt insecure about it. But I don't think it matters how much money you have. You can just be a gold digger if you're gold digging. And that's what I think Kim Kardashian's doing with Kanye West. But you said you had a different idea.
Well, I was just saying on the side that people that have a lot of money are gold diggers.
General.
Unless they inherit that money, then how does someone end up with massive chunks of change? How does someone end up with millions of dollars? Because they dug that gold. It didn't just show up at their doorstep. They were like, I want to make a lot of money. I want to be rich and powerful. So they'll get it however. For girls, we always think gold digger is just someone that's like a leech mooching off this rich guy. But they can do all kinds of stuff to dig that gold,
Right.
And it's not just limited to women, but, men too. People that are money driven.
So anyone making money is a gold digger.
Yeah.
Well, that's... Is there a bad... I guess, to me, a gold digger would be like you're making money in a bad way. Or in a not really honest way. So in Kim's case, she's led on other people for the purpose of her making money. Like, when she married that guy for 72 days... Did she marry him because she loved him and she actually believed that this was going to work out? Or did she marry him because she knew that the media was going to make this huge thing, that E! Entertainment and all the sponsors were going to pay her a shitload of money? So she led this guy down this bullshit idea of getting married so that she could cash in. You know what I mean? Like, so she did this thing, and now she's dating Kanye, thinking, oh, here's this successful rapper, whether you like his music or not, if you want to call it that. You see what I'm saying? Like, is there bad gold diggers and good gold diggers?
I'm sure there's bad gold diggers and good ones.
But, right. But everyone's a gold digger.
Yeah, in a sense. Even the people that are going down to the the food stamp office, they're going to get their gold. Right. They're going to get their money for their food, and other people are going to get it for their housing or whatever. But that's just that. But then it's gone like that too. It's like. So as far as what she's doing, no idea. But yeah,
right.
She's definitely has to be a gold digger because we know where she lives. I mean, not literally, but we know she lives at the west side of the valley. Southwest.
Right. Oh, I think Kim lives in Hollywood now or something. But her family lives in Calabasas.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
I won't be there because I can't smoke, so.
Right. Yeah, it's a whole nother thing, the smoking thing. Yeah. So you're saying because this guy, this instructor of sorts,
I'm saying,
told me that you can't be rich and be a gold digger.
That's borderline dumb.
Right.
Derelict philosophy. What, you think you have to be at the bottom of the pile and, oh, this girl's trying to feed off me because I'm rich and she's broke, therefore she's a gold digger. Right. What if she just is like a huge monstrous amoeba and she already has millions and millions, but she wants more. She
Right.
could still be a gold digger. So
yeah.
I think your instructor felt pressure to judge you in some way on that.
Yeah, you know what I felt like afterwards? I kind of thought about it. I watched the reactions of the other people when he said that because he even said, he goes, I never thought I'd do this, but I think I'm going to defend Kim right now from being a gold digger. And I looked at him like, you got to be fucking kidding me. You're going to defend Kim Kardashian. The biggest gold digger known to the planet right now, I think. I can't think of a bigger one right now.
Yeah, it would be pretty tough.
Right.
But, there's probably ones that have gone to more drastic lengths, even devious ones, such as hiring for the kill type of things.
Well, Anna Nicole, maybe.
Insurance fraud, all that.
Right, right.
But that's gold. That's the art of gold digging.
That's the art of gold digging. So he's sitting there and he's going, I'm going to defend her. And I look around at everyone. We thought it was going to be funny because it's supposed to be a funny sketch writing class or whatever. And then he says, well, she's not a gold digger because she's too rich or whatever. And I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. You're the fucking instructor guy. You don't see why this is funny that Kanye has a song called Gold Digger. And now he's with one of the biggest gold digger. And my skit has Snoop Dogg pointing this out when Snoop is a pimp, as, his lyrics always say. And so, whatever, But then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a second. Is this guy, does he work for the system? Is he saying, I have to knock this guy's thing off the chart because I can see the class think it's funny, and I need to defend Kim because she's part of the system, and he's part of the system too.
Yeah, I just don't think he probably knew what he was talking about. But I don't know the guy. Right. I wonder what he's like, but...
Right. Yeah. So what else, man? What else is going on? Your brother's got the video.
My brother's got the video.
Right.
That video, now I'd seen it before. It was at a film festival. He got some attention for it. Watching it, some of the drawings are just really nutty. Like that tiger,
right,
doing its crazy head dance, and I laughed a lot at the end where he just pees in the punch bowl. But I like the narration, and I like the deep thought. I like the philosophy was kind of way over my head.
Right.
Some of my brother's stuff is like on a...
So he wrote all the words,
yeah,
and everything.
And I really like the way he did the voice.
Right.
He has that narration style that's kind of classic.
Yeah.
But I guess...
and it's old. It's from 2004, it said.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought of it today.
Right.
Plus, I've been working on a new comic, I guess you'd say. Well, what do we call it? I call it Jeremy's Anime, but it's
there
just...
you go.
It's a comic. Basically, I'm writing a story, but I don't want to just tell the story. I want to have like pictures and then bubbles,
right?
And then get kind of a theme going.
So like a comic book.
Yeah, it's like a comic book, but it's for video.
Okay.
Just a little side project.
So technically, this is maybe our first podcast.
It actually is. This is number 1.
Right. And it's in its infancy, but I just want to say I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I'm tired of TV. I'm tired of...
It's time to get our feet wet,
Right.
These people don't have anything on us, They may be bigger gold diggers, but...
Right.
We got 2 mics, and we're representing Northridge 9132 Nordhoff and Reseda, Northridge Square. It doesn't get more central than this. I mean, Dave Grohl's studio is like literally half a mile from
That's true. That's true.
this center of the entertainment universe.
I mean, we live in the middle of Porn Valley.
We live on the southeast part of.
A lot of porn is made around here.
Yeah, I think it's made probably a few blocks up that way.
Right.
More
So
up
we
in-
see hot chicks all the time. We see just ridiculous stuff happening.
I've been seeing a lot of them lately. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's summer. They just get naked basically and walk around. And they don't seem to care. They just do it. They're like, okay, I'm going to go outside and walk around half naked. Today, early, I was driving by Chipotle. Well, I was driving back from Time Warner because my fucking cable modem for my internet was sucking. So I took it back over there to exchange it. I come back. I'm driving through the parking lot. And I'm coming up, and this guy makes a left turn. I was about to go straight, and he didn't have a signal on. So I honked the horn, and he slams on his brakes, and he opens the door. He's like, what? Whoa. You know, I'm like, and he's doing it because he thinks he's a tough guy. You know, there might have been some racial tension for him trying to prove a point to me. And I was just like, dude, why are you yelling at me? You're the one that fucking drove and cut me off. You know, and so just another day in the valley. More love driving around LA.
I was pretty much dissed on somebody that was flying right out of the parking lot when I was walking down the street. Was right about halfway into giving them that "What's up" face.
Right.
And then I saw it was my old boss.
Oh.
Oh, hi, Jeremy.
Wait, you were gonna give him the face?
This lady pulled up and I was gonna give her the face of,
Right.
"Oh, you're that stupid."
Right.
And I probably did give the face, and then when it rolled down and I was like, oh, it was my old boss. I was like, oh, hi. And she's like, hi, Jeremy.
Right.
You got any new CDs for sale? I'm like, oh, going to record right now.
Right on. So she's heard the CD.
Yeah, she bought one actually.
Okay.
But the weird part was just, giving someone the dirty look for acting kind of, driving. They always do that.
Oh, yeah.
Driving out of a parking lot. They never look for people. And so I always give them the judgmental face when they drive bad.
Right, because everyone wants to drive like a prick, but they don't like being called out on it.
Right.
And that's basically what happens. And I run into it all the time. I drive like a prick on purpose. And
I know.
but I do it because,
Crunching ice cubes.
yeah, there it is. I do it because I feel like I'm safer if everyone around me driving sees that's the crazy person I need to stay away from. Whereas if I'm driving just nice and innocent and everything, no one's going to be looking out for me in particular. Versus if I'm the crazy one on the road, I'm actually safer because everyone is looking out not to run into me. And I don't know if that makes sense, but for me it seems like it works because the only time I ever got in an accident was when the cop hit me.
Well, you always want to be in front of the game or behind it, but never just right in the middle where you're going to get trapped
Right.
by everyone. I usually lay back low.
Right.
Behind all the craziness. I see the head-on collisions go on ahead of me.
Right. And I just never see them because either I'm getting away from everybody or they're trying to get away from me or whatever. Except when this guy today tried to get out of his car to charge me, which actually happened about 2 months ago as well, about 2 blocks away from here. This other guy cut me off, so I cut him back off, and then he followed me for about 5 blocks with his girl, pulls up and tries to intimidate me on the road, and then he was behind me chasing me, and I was like accelerating just so he couldn't quite reach my car, and so he was kind of like a dog chasing a car. It was pretty funny.
So I guess a real good podcast is one that isn't afraid to go anywhere, right?
Right.
That's probably the highest virtue of a good podcast. So if we're not afraid to go places, let's talk about it.
Talk about what?
The tragedy.
Which tragedy?
The recent one.
Of what?
I just saw a Yahoo article.
Oh, Batman.
I saw a Yahoo article. It said, man shot 3 times, forgives shooter. I was like, I was pretty impressed by that. I know.
Right.
That's where I come from. The forgiveness.
Wait, this is a Batman shooting victim?
Yes.
Okay.
A Batman shooting victim that was shot 3 times forgives the shooter. He said he feels very sorry for him. And obviously you got to anybody that is willing to pop like that and do something so terrible and sad. You gotta feel, and he's gonna be owning up to that. Whereas all of our other people that have done anything similar, they always pop themselves. Always. They get that chance. They always do. Virginia.
Wait, you mean the shooter?
Yeah, they always get it. They always kill themselves at the end. Always.
Right. Which is why this one's weird.
This one's weird. For that reason, this is weird.
Right. And Alex Jones is having a field day with it.
Yeah, he is. And you know, Alex Jones. Well, I like the guy because he's he.
I mean, right before you got
risks.
here, I was looking at.
He takes risks and he goes out, like when he did the Bohemian Grove thing. I mean, he was undercover 007 and he showed us what's up. I like him, but when people come on strong with like, this is going to be my opinion, it's almost like they're selling their own propaganda.
Right.
And I always just say keep an open mind with everything. Consider that it's a conspiracy, absolutely. Consider that it was a government plan to change gun laws, but also consider that that's horseshit and that there's fucking people out there that are flipped out by the gold digging gospel that's being preached to everybody.
Right. Well, Alex has been accused of being
of course,
an indirect CIA propagandist, implanting ideas into people's minds. So, in fact, one of the Bill Cooper, who was.
Boy, that would be a great cover up if he actually was that role, which I don't believe. But I don't not believe it either, because I'm stupid. You shouldn't believe things or not believe them unless you know for a fact, you know?
Right. Well, here's the photo he posted. This is what I saw when you were on your way over. Alex or somebody in it made a thing where it's comparing this James Holmes guy with Abdul Muttalib bin Laden and McVeigh and Oswald. They're all similar.
Except which one doesn't belong? The one that looks like Ronald McDonald.
That's the Batman shooter.
Right.
Right. Which he'll probably never see Batman.
Who cares?
Well, it's just kind of ironic that he's the Batman shooter. He'll always be known for that now, and he never saw the movie.
Right. Well, and that brought up the question for me, was like when they're saying that some of what he was doing was mirroring what was going on in the movie. I didn't know if he had seen it maybe before, somehow leaked or something.
Right.
And I still haven't seen the movie, so I don't know. But
they said he was mirroring things.
Yeah. But he's what he was mirroring was the sickness of his soul. He was mirroring the tragedy that had taken place inside him. You have to kill yourself before you go and kill a bunch of people. You're not just like totally content, happy, and satisfied with your life, and then I'm just go blow people away. You know, he's dead inside first. And
how do you know this?
This is just my opinion.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
But he, maybe this is a way for him to experience redemption.
Yeah, well, he
That's
looks
a-
like a Looney Tune to me.
It's I mean, just think, you know how when you mess up with somebody or something, you say something wrong to them, or you make a mistake, you know how you have to fix it sometimes?
Right.
Not sometimes, all the times. That's a lot of fixing for him. I mean, that could take lifetimes.
Sometimes things can't be fixed, I don't think.
And there's that.
If you take a vase and you
There's
crack
that.
it and it's cracked in one place,
You're right.
maybe.
You're right.
But if it's completely smashed,
You're right.
beyond
No,
recognition.
even if it's cracked, you're right.
Right.
It'll never be the same again.
Right.
Now, that's maybe something that we should be teaching in schools instead of tons of information, is that little concept right there.
Right. Because, I mean, you can, and of course, someone could forgive them,
Right.
but that doesn't bring the vase back.
No,
the
it
vase
doesn't.
is gone.
Exactly. So as a soul going on into, your future, obviously in this life, that's going to be, you'll probably think about that every day for the rest of your life.
Right.
And perhaps, and quite likely in other lifetimes too.
Yeah, I
If
mean,
such a thing exists,
it could
because-
carry along with your soul.
Because the vase is cracked and it will never be repaired, It's interesting because it's like, how much of also of yourself do you want to bring forth on a podcast too? If you're that transparent, good podcast, you'll be willing to talk about anything.
Well,
right?
I mean,
But
I don't know what you're trying to hide, Bridger, but I mean, you brought it up, so
like what you would feel guilty about in your past, of
right.
things.
Well, do you
know-
have something?
Yeah, I do.
Something you're willing to share with mass
yes.
millions, possibly?
Yeah. Because when witnessing something like that,
Right.
understanding that he has to account for that in himself, and how he's going to leave this world,
Right.
makes me look at myself and go, looking back at maybe what things that I've done that I'm not proud of, or what regrets do I have,
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much my main regrets are just that of having at one time been a hunter. Having, taken a few animals.
Hunting ladies in Hollywood.
I don't feel bad for that.
Okay.
But various
Like deer hunting.
deer, antelope, coyote.
Which, believe it or not, deer hunters playing tonight at the Holocaust, the Hipster Holocaust Theater, which I've never seen.
Which is another huge coincidence.
Right. Hipster Holocaust, a movie we saw.
Is basically, this is that times a million. We should chat with, or even bring him on the show.
The director.
Billy Burgess.
Right. I'm sure he would. Maybe we could bring Snoop in. I asked John if he didn't remember him, but
That would be a motley crew right there.
John doesn't remember things sometimes, but of course, that's how Snoop is, so...
Yeah, so once the vase is cracked, that's it. So, that's... and isn't that seems to be a rule for relationships, too. Although that's...
Oh, yeah. Once a cheater, always a cheater.
That, too.
Once the trust is broken...
Right. Right.
It never comes fully back.
Right. Exactly.
Right. And that was the problem with my roller coaster of a marriage. The trust was broken, and she didn't want to accept that fact. I'm not going to mention her name, but anyone who knows, including her. And but that's true. Once the trust is broken, it can never be.
So the theme of this show is don't break the vase.
Don't break the vase. And
even
gold
if
digging with Kardashians, of
even
course.
if you're just so envious and hateful of that beautiful vase sitting there with the flowers in it on the table, and
Right.
you're having a bad day, don't go up and smash it, because that's that. Especially, maybe if it's a vase, sure, go smash it, because it's
Right.
just a vase, but not a person, or not your friends, or something that's expensive
Right.
that you have to go gold dig for after.
Gold digging with the Kardashians. Maybe it should be called that, not keeping up. It could be keeping up. Like, look at how much we're gold digging. Can you keep up with the Kardashians with their gold digging ways? Like, now Kim's been a gold digger, and she broke that vase, so to speak. Can she go back to not being known as a gold digger? Or also, since she broke the vase of being a porn...
I think she could. I think she'd have to be a Mother Teresa for a good 10 years.
Could she? What about the porn video?
Let's see her become
That's
a
online
Buddha.
forever.
Well, yeah. Well, true. That's exactly. So that's like a broken vase.
Yeah,
That's the tragedy of this podcast and videos.
Right.
Because it's there, etched in, the age of the legend is gone, because everyone will know it. There's nothing left to mystique and imagination
That's
for
true.
our lives ever again in the future. If they ever have any mystique about one of us, all they have to do is, listen to...
The only way is if the whole thing crashes.
If you were to go down and like ask all your friends for all your pictures and all your letters
Right.
and all your CDs and tapes and burn it all,
You still wouldn't know, so they might have made a copy of the CD.
right? Oh, that guy isn't a legend because I listened to that one
Right.
thing, and that's nothing.
Or you gave a CD to somebody. I had this happen to me. It happened to my cousin, actually. I gave him a CD of mine, which I don't do very often. I always mean to do it more often than I do, but I don't. But
They're expensive.
yeah, they are. But so someone stole the CD from him, but he doesn't know who stole it from him. So I couldn't go and get it back. It's out there. It's somewhere.
But that's kind of a nice thought for having someone steal your record is pretty cool.
Well, unless you have a song where you're like, oh, I don't know. You know.
Well, it's too late for me. Like I've already thought about that. Like with
Well, you told me you
everything-
sold how many?
everything.
You sold a lot.
438.
Individually, right?
Yeah.
Person to person. That's hardcore, man. That's hardcore. I don't think I've ever sold any, but I've given them away.
Well, that's cool too.
I sold a download a couple times, but that was it.
That's cool too. I
Right.
just find that if you go give stuff away, dude, it ends up in the trash.
Right.
People, even if they buy it from you for $10,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times I still doubt they listen to it.
Right, but they're less likely to throw it away.
Less likely to throw away, and and it's just part of the game.
Right. So even if it's a piece of crap, the fact that they bought it means it's less likely they'll toss it than if they just
Right.
got it for free.
And even if someone's on the street selling something,
Like it
that's-
could be a Monet and they got it for free, but they'll throw it away. But if it's
Yeah.
a piece of crap that
even
they
if it
actually
is
bought,
even if it is a piece of crap, I think it's still amazing because somebody sold it on the street for $10, and even if it like sounded like sticking a
it sounded
paper
like
shred,
a Kanye West album.
yeah, even if it, yeah, then it might actually not be worth anything. But
Right.
if it was just normal chicken scratch from like a heart and soul street musician that lived on the run and stuff, it would mean
Right.
mean something, Like there's two kind of rock stars. We've always said, there's the
Right.
ones at the top of the food chain with the millions that everyone's looking to be like and saying, that's hip hop, that's rock and roll. That's
Right.
And then there's the ones on the exact opposite that suffer every step of the way for the people that never have to go through that.
Right.
And that's a totally different ballgame of Rockstar that nobody wants to do.
Right.
But some do it, man. You see, obviously, we're here in our Los Angeles, Hollywood. We see people on the street, you know, they haven't showered in months. And at one time, those people, you know, had 2 Porsches in their driveway and 3 properties and worked for the motion picture industry. I've talked to those people, you know, people that you know, a guy with 1 tooth, you know, asking you for a quarter, and that guy used to, you know, do hair for Marlon Brando, you know.
Right.
I've seen that, dude. And that's what the dream does to people.
The dream.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. Yeah, the dream. But what you're saying is...
Actually, that's not really what the dream does. That's what lack of the dream does. That's what giving yourself away because you don't believe in the dream does. Kind of, if that makes sense.
Well, I would think that someone would end up fleshed out in that sense, like this Marlon Brando hairdresser you brought up.
Yeah.
He had some opportunities, he made some money, but then he got lazy or made some bad decisions and maybe felt too secure with that. Like there's a lot of bands where they had 1 hit and some people were smart and they kept the money from that 1 hit and they made do, but they went and got another job. They realized that I can't sing this one song for the rest of my life. You know, whereas the dream is everyone will be Led Zeppelin or Elvis and they're going to have 8 albums of hits, right? But the fact is that's what 1 in 100 million maybe.
That's why David Lee Roth says the thing about Hollywood: here today, gone later today.
Exactly.
And they say that it's not nearly so hard to get to the top as staying there. So imagine the journey to the top every day for the rest of your life. And then imagine to where, if that really makes you happy.
Which brings me back to just being pissed off about this Kardashian bullshit. I mean...
Because that's the dream to her, probably, is being as rich as 50 Cent. Or
here's the thing, though. They were going to be rich anyway. Their dad was OJ's lawyer, who probably lost the glove that got him off of murder for Nicole Simpson. That was their father, which they never bring up on the show. The fact that they had it made. They're basically trust fund kids. I think we were talking about this the other day when I also brought up the fact that Burroughs
nobody's got it made, man.
Yeah, but they had money.
Yeah,
they already had money.
But they want more, man.
They want more. They're more gold to dig.
You know, I mean, how does Jay-Z get Beyonce? No offense, I'm sure it's true love.
Yeah, well, it's a Beyonce. Now there's fame digging probably too.
Fame digging.
Right. So Mariah Carey married the Sony owner or director or whatever it was years ago. And then she divorced him, and then she started doing more hip-hop. But there was a point where she was married to the big guy at Sony. Was she fame digging? Is that the whole point of that marriage was, this is the head of Sony, and I'm going to marry him because he's going to push my albums with the power of Sony that much more so that I'm even bigger. So my butterfly Mariah Carey ass is going to be out there more than anyone, even more than Celine Dion at some point, because I'm going to go fuck this guy and marry him. And she was fame digging, huh? Or was it true love?
Well, you know, this is a speculative sport, what we're doing here.
Right.
We're just guessing, but we're just bringing up topics. But I'm sure there's plenty of fame digging going on.
Oh, yeah.
And everything in between, you know. But it is, like you mentioned, the horse chasing the carrot, you know.
Right. Yeah, that was a conversation we had a while ago. The horse chasing the carrot. I think I got pretty worked up about that one.
Because interestingly enough, let's take it to the Tao.
Right. Tao Te Ching.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now that requires the emptying of oneself, the retreating almost backwards into where the idealized state is to do absolutely nothing.
Right.
That's like the highest point you can reach. The wise man that does nothing.
Right.
And that takes no heat for his actions or whatever, and is not chasing a carrot. And
is that wise or is it just safe?
Well, you think about it.
Right.
I've been thinking a lot about it. Because you could say, well, how are we going to have doctors then to fix us if we need surgery because someone shoots us and we're watching a movie?
Right.
Or who's going to fix our car? Everybody can't do nothing, or can they? Would we all be, but...
Now, here's two things. If there's two people and they're both sitting doing nothing under the same tree, why does one get cancer and the other one doesn't? And they do exactly the same thing the whole time.
Well, this is your story. You made it up, so why?
I don't know. I'm just...
Maybe they don't.
Maybe they don't.
Maybe they don't, but that's the question. Is cancer biological, or is it a spiritual kind of thing, or is it a mix of both?
Right.
Probably. But is it possible to be the wisest person in the world and act and just sit and do nothing? I mean, look at people. Let's just look back on time, and let's take someone that practically ruled the world. Alexander the Great, right? Did anyone conquer as much as him? I don't believe so. I could be wrong.
Except for maybe W.
True. So let's take W and let's take Alexander the Great.
Right.
And
even
throw in Napoleon. These are people that did it, dude. They had drive. They had intelligence.
Well, let's name the real one. The real one would be whoever was in charge of the British Empire when they went and colonized the America, that brought slavery to the Americas, that went to India and fucked the Indians and went down to Australia and all that. I mean, who is the guy that gets the credit for that? Because Napoleon lost to Britain.
Well, my point was, before we go off on that tangent, was that these people, we have their portraits in a line. They're on our wall.
Right.
These were powerful people. These are people that Alexander the Great, I think, conquered more than, at least considering the sources he had.
I have the picture in my mind.
Spears twice as long as a man.
Alexander, Caesar, Napoleon, W.
Yeah. These are people that had drive, that had intelligence, or some intelligence for them.
Right.
Artificial intelligence. And looking back, does anyone really want to be that person? Not really. Now you look back on the Buddha, who was someone that didn't even want to be remembered. Right. And then boom, you've got someone that's probably on everyone's, closet, around their neck, on their teacups.
Well, you could say Jesus too. I mean,
Jesus, same deal.
There was no
letting go of everything. And it's the opposite. That's one direction, and then the gold digging is the exact opposite, which is all those power-hungry people.
Yeah, I mean, basically it's like Buddha or Jesus the dude.
Yeah.
They lived their lives, and then 100 years or 200 years later, all these people are like, we're Buddhists, we're Christians, and this is what he was saying. And it's like...
We're comparing and contrasting the two different directions to go in life.
Right.
And obviously Hollywood is going, towards the more and more and more, and more is never enough. So that's where that wisdom thing comes in. And
right, but how do we get on Buddha from Alexander?
Because we're talking about the two different directions to go.
Right. Okay, so Buddha
was not chasing a carrot. Buddha was the carrot. Buddha was the horse and the carrot.
But I think who made Buddha the carrot? Right? Because the carrot itself, when the donkey's chasing the carrot, right? The carrot didn't put itself in that position. Somebody put the carrot there for the donkey to chase. So we hear about the donkey chasing the carrot, but we never hear about who put the carrot in front of the donkey. because the carrot didn't decide. Well, I'm gonna always perpetually be in front of the donkey.
We put our own carrots in front of the donkey, right?
Right.
For ourselves. I mean, that was kind of my gimmick on Facebook.
Okay.
About message me if you want to know
Tell
the
me about
purpose
that.
of your
Oh, yeah, I
existence,
saw that.
which goes back to you're the one that even
expand on that for someone who's listening and has no idea. Because I have the privilege. I saw it on Facebook.
Well, it all reverts back to the original idea that you mentioned. And one day, I Googled it and I found the perfect picture of an ass or a donkey with a carrot in front of him, and I was just like, "That's totally everyone in this human existence.
Right.
That's me." And I just thought it was hilarious. So I just posted on my Facebook multiple times. Anyone that wants to know the meaning to their existence on this planet, message me in private. No wall postings.
Right. And people messaged you.
People messaged me.
Like how many?
Not a lot.
More than 10?
No. In fact, I would say
5.
I would say a lot of people were like, "Don't tell me. I don't want to know," as if they were afraid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I randomly showed one guy at the plasma center, and he just bust up laughing, which is
right.
Which is means that it's true, because laughing at it, you can't actually.
Let's say I messaged you. What would you have told me?
I would have showed you the exact same thing, and it would have been like, "You're the one that inspired that idea," but it's true. But the only beauty of it, and I was telling my cousin this, who did message me, is that you choose your own carrot, Like, you choose what gets you out of bed in the morning. For Kim, the carrot is the carrot. Diamond. But for other people, the carrot could be to help lonely people that day. That can be a carrot,
Yeah, so they have this inner goody good doer streak, and they
anything, man.
Right.
It could be to get laid for some people.
Right.
It could be to make money. It could be to get your name out there in whatever you do, or have a nice family,
Right.
So,
it could be to play bars every night.
That could be the carrot.
That could be the big dream.
Right.
My dream is to play bars every night for drunk people who won't remember me playing in the morning.
The sad part is sometimes you feel like, well, I don't want to chase any carrot.
Right. And
the universe seems to be telling you have to pick one carrot. I've given. There's all these things.
Well,
you
now
better
that's
pick
contradictory to just doing nothing then.
Well, but doing nothing is like, that's why doing nothing is so hard.
Right.
Is because you're constantly like ignoring the universe. Pick a fucking carrot. And you're just like tuning it out because you have to constantly be in that state too.
Yeah, my idea of doing nothing. I read a book. It was Buddhist based. Some chick. I don't remember the name of the book, but her idea was you have to go and sit for at least 3 days and do absolutely nothing except for eat and maybe go use the bathroom when you have to. Otherwise, go find a place where you can just sit, wake up in the morning, and sit there all day. Mm-hmm. And there's no distractions, there's no TV, there's no books, there's no instruments, there's no anything. You're just sitting there the whole time, all day. And then that first day is over, and you go to sleep. And then the next day, you wake up, you sit there, and you do absolutely nothing. You don't even walk around. You just sit there. And then you go to sleep again, and then the third day, you wake up, and you kind of do it again. And at some point, and you can choose to do this for 2 weeks on end, or maybe a few hours if that's all you have. But
right.
But her idea was, the reason for doing that was, we have thoughts in our heads all the time, that inner monologue, that inner dialogue people talk about, and that if a lot of people don't follow those thoughts to their end, right? Because the phone rings, or the Kardashians are on the fucking TV, or someone just crashed into your neighbor's yard, or the neighbor just got shot, or the dog just rolled over and died. So you never actually complete your thoughts.
And we don't even know what our inner dialogue is when we're in the city. It's impossible.
Right.
to know what it is, because it's constantly being bombarded and cut off. So probably all our thoughts are like a second or two.
Right. So her idea was just get away from all of it and just go and sit there for it. You know, her recommendation was 3 days, and wait until you've thought about everything that comes to your mind, to where anything that comes to your mind again you've already thought about, to where you're just sitting there and you literally run out of anything to think about because you've already thought about anything that was going to come to your mind. And then you sit there, and then that's that nothing. And then from there, I mean, I would think, and because when you mentioned that nothing, I don't remember when that was, it was a while ago now, but I was like, yeah, you know, I get what you're saying, but I think at some point you do have to figure out what it is you want to do after you've sat in nothing for a little bit. Because I think sitting in nothing for too long isn't a good thing. Because, well, maybe it is a good thing. I don't know, but it just seems like you gotta move somewhere from the nothing. But it's good to find that nothing so you can kind of figure out without being bombarded by some naked billboard.
I'm just bringing up what the master said, Lao Tzu. What he said was that once you've emptied yourself into the point and retreated back to doing nothing, then you're at the highest stage. And I'm just bringing up that, you know, that's very hard to do. And there is truth in that. But like I said, I'm not recommending that you guys out there doing nothing.
Now, Bridger, I just want to say, for a first podcast, we're already 40-something minutes into it, man.
But that's how it gets good.
Yeah, but I'm wondering what is, you know, people, they're not going to want to listen to us ramble for 4 hours. We could probably sit here and talk all night. So what is the ideal length? Like an hour, maybe? Yeah?
Well, probably the ideal length is, an hour.
Yeah, because people, you know, because although we all would love to live in nothing, we still got to cook dinner. Someone's probably got to go change the baby.
Well, we don't have to stay in nothing. As far as conversation, I mean, that would make the highest podcast would be just dead silence for every podcast.
Right. So let's figure out why our podcast
is so great.
Why? Yeah, I mean, we
because there's no snowflake in the world just like you, Charlie.
Well, I've been told that in both good ways and bad ways, but
you guys are all unique, the same as everybody else.
Right.
So
my idea started because and I'm going to give a shout out here to the Big Three podcast, which I found it was a really weird thing because I took a friend of mine, I think you met him, Ollie. We went to see Shakes the Clown, the movie, and it was an old movie about clowns, Adam Sandler, and kind of a dark movie, but it showed the underside of clowns. But anyway, so we went to this, and Bobcat Goldthwait directed it. And I thought Bobcat was dead. And turns out he wasn't dead because he was there. And I was shocked. And so after the movie, I went up to him and I go, dude, I thought you were dead, man. And he's like, or no, this was before, because I went up to him before, and then he made a comment after when he was doing his Q&A, and he goes, and to the asshole who thought I was dead, I'm not fucking dead, fucker, you know. And so anyway, I took Ollie to that. Ollie went, and somehow he found this. And so they do this Ding Dong show down in Hollywood. It's pretty funny. I didn't get it at first. It's pretty crude, but I was listening to it, and I listened to it, and they just talk about their lives and what's going on, and I'm not sure if they were doing it first or the Ricky Gervais show, which I also listen to from time to time. But I was thinking, you know what? And we've been around here long enough to where
it's a great idea, man.
We've seen things that no one else is gonna have seen at this point.
For sure. And once we're brave enough to talk about it, we'll let you guys know.
Right. Once we figure out, yeah. I think I know where I'm at with people pretty much at this point.
But you know, like what to say and what not to say. Like,
Right.
how transparent do you want your soul to be?
Well, the thing is if something is said and it's that bad, we can always go back and delete it, you know.
But don't tell them that.
Because if we go over an hour, obviously we're going to have to cut out something. And maybe we'll cut out, you know, Kim's ass.
I like the fact of being in this podcast scenario because it's retreating into my own self rather than going out there and clicking on somebody else and let's see how cool this guy. Oh, he's so cool. What they're talking about is so amazing.
Right.
Why do I need to listen to them when I can listen to you and me?
Right. I don't see myself listening to us because obviously we were here when this is happening. So.
You know what I'm saying, though.
Right.
Be part of the action. Don't be on the sidelines. You know?
Right.
We live our lives on the sidelines, and it hurts.
Well, we've been part of the action.
We have been, but
we may not have been out in front trying to garner all the credit like some other people I know, and I won't mention them. And you know who I'm talking about in particular.
Yeah.
But but whether they want to acknowledge that or not, we have been pretty integral in a lot of things, whether people want to acknowledge it or not. And I think a lot of things wouldn't have happened if we hadn't been floating around in the way that we have. Not to toot my own horn or your horn, but...
Let's toot our horns.
But, you know... yeah. That's part of the music thing, though, I guess.
Yeah. Just in everything in your life, you know, like...
But, I mean, how many people do you think...
What anybody else is doing with their life has nothing to do with you, you know?
Right.
Tom Cruise getting a divorce or whatever has nothing to do, you know?
Well,
we look around so much,
right.
We forget to look in the mirror. We
Right.
forget to listen to the headphones.
Mm-hmm.
We forget to read our journal.
Right.
Those are the important things, not so much, you know, to look at, oh, this video has 200,000 views. And,
Right.
you know, that's what I like about this podcast.
So maybe next time we could come up and maybe you'll have a journal entry from the last week that you'll want to share, and maybe I'll have one too.
We could have a show about journals. We just bring in our journals.
Well, no, we'll just have a little part. That could be one of our parts.
All right. Yeah.
Because that's what the Big Three does, and I'm just saying they have
the big three.
right. They have a part where it's Perry's corner, and Perry shares, and usually Perry fucks it up pretty good. But I'm just saying, you know, you have little segments so that the audience gets familiar with what it is. So whatever it is, maybe we could have journal time.
We can have all kinds of things.
Right. We'll try to figure out how to get guests, interesting guests that go above and beyond the call of.
Maybe we could take our podcast to the streets.
We could try that on location, but I think we need to get a couple under our belt first.
Well, yeah.
Right. But that would be interesting.
But it's nice to hit the ground running sometimes too.
It is, but people on the streets out there are scary, man. It's scary out there.
Yeah, right.
Just look at the Batman guy. He was out there. Where is he? There he is. I mean, what was going on with that orange hair? It looks like flames.
It looks like a joke compared to once you see the suit.
Right.
That shit's scary, dude.
What do you mean?
When you see the suit that he was wearing,
Oh, yeah?
it's just scary on other levels, dude, because it's just like, that's for serious, like, that's for serious operations, not for, you know, babies and shit like that in the theater.
Right.
You know, like, I don't know.
That's what the media does, man. Some of it, anyway. Wax people. I mean, if I sat around and watched CNN all day, I'd be one paranoid motherfucker all the time. I wouldn't even want to. I don't even know what I would do. That's why I quit watching all that crap. But anyway, I think we're about at an hour.
Okay.
So maybe we should say, well, if you were listening, that's great. Congratulations, you made it through the inaugural. I won't even call it a test run at this point. It was something I brought up to Bridger probably 2 hours ago, and here we are. We've already finished it basically.
Woohoo!
Right, and Kim is a gold digger then, but in a way, Bridger, you're saying everyone's a gold digger.
Right.
We're all chasing that carrot, which is the gold in a way.
Right. It takes a lot of anti-momentum to stop everything and not do anything. Yeah.
Right.
No, you can't check your email. You know?
Right. Do you want to give a shout out for anything?
All those things, are kind of time fillers. I've learned that. Like, this is how I'm going to waste my day. I'm going to check the email. I'm going to spend this amount of time walking over here,
Right.
This is how I'm going to kill my day,
Right. Yeah, you got to choose wisely, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you watch Kardashians all day and don't practice guitar, then that's just time you didn't practice guitar, really.
Right.
Do you have any shout outs? My website is charliekerper.com. It's not really up and running at the moment, but there's some links on there and you can check it out. It's Kerper, Kerper, and I'm also on Facebook, of course. And yeah, Bridger, anything?
Maybe not for this first one.
Not for the first one. All right. Well, you can find Bridger through my stuff, so
Unless I find a way to destroy it all first.
that's very possible. Okay, well, have a good week. See you next week.